Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing the High Republic Adventures Phase 2, Issue 1, which was written by Daniel José Older, with art by Tony Bruno, and it was released on November 30th, 2022, which is the start of the Phase 2 High Republic Adventures series, which follows the character Sav Mulligan, who we saw in Phase 1, but obviously Phase 2 takes place 150 years before Phase 1, so she's a lot younger, and obviously in the Phase 1 series, she's only in a couple issues, or this series, she'll be the main character. But I thought this first issue was alright. It was more about, setting up the series by introducing the characters and the story and whatnot, which a lot of the main characters are returning ones. So, it is more setting up where they are at this point in time. But like I said earlier, the main character is the Jedi Sav Mulligan, who at this time is a Padawan. I think it said she's around 15 years old or something like that. I forget. But at the start of the issue, we see her on Takodana at nighttime, where she sneaks out of the Jedi Temple to go and pretend to be a pirate at Maz Kanata's castle, which the first half of the issue is mostly inner dialogue from Sav, explaining who she is and what she's doing and introducing some of the side characters we see in the castle, who will seemingly be kind of like the main cast of characters in this series. But there's obviously some new characters, but also some returning characters. Mostly characters from the movies. There are some more Glup Shido-like characters, like Therm Scissor Punch from Solo. But the coolest and probably one of the biggest characters so far was Dexter Jetster. Obviously appears in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, but we see him rocking a cool mustache. But in the castle, we see Sav watching two of the new characters who are both pirates, named Alec and Roth, which are kind of getting into it, with a little bit of an argument, but it seems like it's cooling down. But Sav wants to see some action, so she uses the Force to throw a cup, and I think it was Roth, which then gets Roth angry and starts to fight Alec, which Maz Kanata then comes out and breaks the fight up, and then tells them that the one rule of her castle is that there is no fighting, and it seems like Alec is a regular, so she asks the pirate Roth to leave, which Roth does so, but afterwards we see Maz talking to Alec, but then gets distracted as Dexter appears, and they start briefly talking, but Dexter reveals he's just passing through, and so he can't stay to talk longer, and so he leaves. But Sav wanted to ask him some questions, so she runs after him, outside, which we see that Dexter has gone onto this little boat raft thingy, and so Sav jumps on with him so she can speak to him alone. But he doesn't have time for questions, as he reveals that he's after that pirate from earlier named Roth, who I guess actually isn't a pirate, but a pirate hunter. And Dexter thinks he's up to no good, so they follow him to land. But Roth knows that they're following him, and so he confronts them. But it turns out that Roth is after this group called the Dank Graphs, and he's kind of currently watching a meeting they're having in the woods. So Sav and Dexter join him on eavesdropping on this meeting, which the Dankcroft's leader, Auric Vaughn, is talking about their plans, which is to get rid of Maz and the Jedi on Takodana so they can take over Takodana. But the Dankcroft's droids find Sav and the others, and so they have to fight the droids, which Sav has no option but to use her lightsabers against the droids, revealing her secret to Dexter and Roth. But they eventually take out the droids, but Auric Vaughn and the other Dankcraft members have escaped, and so we see Roth go his separate way, and then Sav and Dexter head back to the castle, where they reveal to Maz what they learned, which Maz already knows about Auric Vaughn and the Dankcrafts, and so she kind of tells the others more about them, which I guess are a Force-related group, as they're made up of people rejected from various Force factions, but Auric Vaughn has a grudge against Maz because she conned him out of a score, which I guess was the castle and Takodana itself. But Maz's droid, Emmy, alerts Maz to tell her that a ship was seen heading off-world. So Maz wants to go after it and asks the pirates to join her, including Soph, who agrees to do so. And that's where the issue ends. Like I said, I thought it was alright. It was more of a setup issue. But that was to be expected with the very first issue. Insofar, I like the setup for the story and the characters and whatnot. And so I'm interested to see where it'll go next. I also like seeing the younger, mustached Dexter Jetster. And I also thought the art was solid. So yeah, but all in all, I enjoyed it. Didn't love it though. But my grade, I'm going to give it a B. So yeah, but that's going to be it for this one. My next High Republic review will be, I think it's one of the Tales of Enlightenment short stories. So you can check that out then. But in the meantime, check out my other High Republic reviews for Phase 1 and Phase 2. But it's been Star Wars Review, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.